Hello everyone and welcome to the Crafting Bros Archive, where I go back through the content vault and talk to you about videos I've made on the channel and give you guys certain facts about them. Today's video is a one-off. The Hawkeye Disney Plus series has been gaining quite a bit of traction recently due to some recent news and set photos that in this video I will be talking about more in depth. So the first big piece of news that we know is that Hailee Steinfeld, who you may know as Gwen Stacy from Into the Spider-Verse, has officially been confirmed to be playing Kate Bishop. We knew since Comic-Con last year that Kate Bishop would be a big part of the series, and around early 2020-ish it was rumoured that Steinfeld was going to play Kate Bishop, and that is definitely good casting. Anyway, the set photos leaked on the internet have confirmed quite a few things. Firstly, that Steinfeld is playing Kate Bishop, and that the series will take place in 2025. Now, this is going to present a bit of timeline confusion, but I'll explain it here. So, the Falcon and Winter Soldier series is rumored to take place at least in later 2023. Then Spider-Man Far From Home is set at least in 2024, 8 months after Endgame. And the Hawkeye series is set in 2025. We don't actually know the placement of all this now, but I will be sure to do an updated timeline video about it. Anyway, whether the events of Spider-Man 3 will be referenced, I do kind of find unlikely. Because from the news we've been getting about it, all the Spider-Verse stuff and whatnot, it does seem like a more cosmic movie to me, and I think it may focus on Spider-Man and Doctor Strange jumping through different universes to find different spider people. I hope you're still with me on this. A really exciting part about the series, at least for the hardcore comic fans, is that the series may be drawing some inspiration from a popular comic run. So if you guys know Matt Fraction, he's a really popular comic writer, and he wrote the Hawkeye story My Life as a Weapon, and that story is important for the reason that Hawkeye becomes deaf, and in comic continuity, it's the second time he became deaf. In some earlier Marvel comics, Hawkeye had to defeat a villain with a sonic arrowhead, which came at the cost of him damaging his hearing. Anyway, moving on to a bit of casting news now. It was also recently confirmed that Florence Pugh, aka Yelena Belova from the upcoming Black Widow film, will be reprising her role in the series, which basically confirms that she is going to survive the events of that film. And this also kind of debunks a fan theory that some people have actually had about Black Widow, that she and Yelena Belova swapped identities and swapped faces or whatever, and that the two have actually taken each other's places. So Natasha was doing whatever Yelena was doing, and Yelena was doing whatever Natasha was doing, meaning she sacrificed herself instead of Natasha. And that theory has been debunked since Yelena is going to appear in Black Widow. Or it could still be confirmed, we never know. If this ends up being debunked, whatever role she ends up playing, we won't know, but I think we could see some kind of bond form between the two, since both Yelena and Hawkeye were particularly close with Natasha. Also, we know from recent news that characters such as Swordsman Clown, Eleanor Bishop, Echo, and Lucky the Pizza Dog will also be appearing in the series. To the best of my understanding, Echo is actually a deaf character in the Marvel comics, and she will most likely be helping Hawkeye through his ordeal, since he's probably become deaf now. And some set photos have actually given us a close-up on Hawkeye with some hearing aids, which is pretty interesting. One thing I'm also wondering about the series is whether this will be the last we see of Clint Barton, or at least the last we'll see of Renner in the role. Well, I think this will be the last of him as Hawkeye. I don't think Renner will be retiring from the MCU altogether. I kind of see Clint Barton's future in the MCU similar to that of, like, a dynamic duo, if you will. Not like Batman and Robin per se, but sort of like Peter and Miles in the Spider-Man games. Sure, Peter is still there, and he is still active as Spider-Man, but he's tutoring Miles to become his successor, so should anything ever happen to Peter, then Miles can take over. And I think that's the kind of dynamic we're going to have with Clint and Kate in the new series, with Kate being the newer hero and Clint being the more mentor figure. In terms of end credits teasers, I don't think we'll see an awful lot, and I do think we should see some indication of the Fox Marvel characters in the MCU. I mean, I do think, because the deal has obviously gone through now, I mean, it's been like over a year now, we really need some indication that some of the Fox Marvel characters exist. I mean, really, we should get some indication of maybe the X-Men, because a lot of people have looked forward to that for quite a long time. Or maybe we could get some indication of a different corner of the Fox Marvel universe. Maybe even Deadpool shows up. As long as it leaves us with some indication that yes, they exist in this universe, then I'm fine with that. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. What do you think about the news we've gotten so far? If you're interested, then let me know in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Towards the tail end of 2020, I decided to make a Crafting Bros New Year special where I would talk about certain projects I had in the pipeline and release a couple of videos that I already planned on releasing as standalone videos, and so I contacted my now former editor Amzo to help me bring everything together. One video I conceived for this special was a video concerning the Hawkeye Disney Plus series, where I discussed potential rumours about the show and where it was likely drawing inspiration from. So what happened to the video and why wasn't it released on its own? Well, I had originally planned to release the video on its own a few days after the special was uploaded, but time kept passing to a point where the news itself was no longer relevant, and so I held off on uploading it on its own. Now, the New Year special is actually interesting because it features some of my final work with Amzo, but I have considered inviting him back for maybe a one-off video. Hell, maybe I can talk to him about it in the future about him possibly returning. However, it depends on where our lives are going to go in future. And that does it for this episode. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. Also, make sure to ring the bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.